Union Development Officer. The Union Development Officer leads on events, fundraising and sustainability. They work with USU's events team to create events and foster a socially responsible student community.
And welcome to Candidate Interview Night. My name is Tolan Enderby. You are live, and I am joined in the studio with Jen Andrews. Jen, you are running for Union Development Officer. How are we feeling?
A little bit nervous, but yeah, excited.
Fantastic. Don't worry. Sit down into it. It's going to be good. We've got 10 minutes to talk to you today. So my first question, and I did let you prepare for this.
Yeah.
Could you possibly summarise your entire manifesto into 3 simple words for the listeners at home?
Exciting, ambitious, and genuine.
Oh, fantastic. Genuine. Brilliant. Jumping straight into it, I think one of the main points at the beginning of the manifesto is, of course, revitalising the campus, specifically Campus East. Now, you elaborate firstly on that. So you want, I understand, a new social area.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's not necessarily bar.
No.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, I should first confess my allegiance. So I'm analyst to president, so I have that kind of perspective there. And simply, there's just not enough social spaces on Campus East. Glasshouse Bar seats 180 people, and there's going to be about 3,000 people on campus.
Now, is it not my understanding that every college on East has a nucleus?
Yes.
Where there's seating spaces, there's ping pong tables, vending machines, which compared to Campus West is seen as somewhat luxurious.
Yeah, and that's totally true, and they are really great spaces. But to put that into perspective, so Analysters Hub holds 400 people, and next year there's going to be about 800 students.
Yes.
So, like, space-wise, it's a really great space to have, but we really need a second space.
Okay.
And we've done a lot of work collaborating with colleges, so...
Okay, and I feel there may be a slight vagueness on the idea of social spaces. Could you possibly elaborate on what you mean by social spaces?
So I've given myself a bit of, working around with that, because I think a bar potentially might not be overly attractive to some kind of people.
No.
And also a social space in that, you know, do you want to be in a bar in the daytime? I'd quite like the space to be a usable thing at various points in the day. So whether you're holding kind of like a quiz in the evening or like a craft event during the day, it'd be quite nice to have it something that's a bit more flexible.
So what do you mean by that? What do we actually mean by social space? New building? Utilise space that already exists?
And that's the other one, is that I'm sure everyone's aware that the uni is a little bit strapped for cash. So utilising a space that we've already got is, I think, the best way to go around. And there are several spaces on Campus East that are quite underutilised. So the Ron Cook Hub is springing to mind here. So it could remain like a hub for people, but just with a little bit more intention behind it.
Brilliant. So moving on, so we're talking about where and how on campus. We're aware of the new USU partnership that Glasshouse has just entered into. With that in mind, are we talking social spaces for food? Is it, you know, just social spaces for events and activities, things like this? Because your main point on your manifesto, it is revitalise our campus. So you talk about Campus East, but nothing about Campus West.
Yeah, so the second point where I'm talking in that same section, where I'm talking about a student club night.
Yes, absolutely. You know what, we'll segue into that. Saturday student nights. It's ambitious, as you said, those 3 words. The second one, absolutely ambitious. Let's delve into that. So I couldn't, reading between the lines, are we talking club? Are we talking student club nights on campus?
On campus.
Brilliant.
So some people might remember, but they have stopped them, is that Courtyard used to run every few weeks. They would have a club night. Glasshouse also used to do this. They've kind of drifted because not a huge amount of effort was put behind them, and they didn't get the attendance they needed, so they've stopped.
So you suggest a night out where the focus is on the students rather than on profiteering or on the profits. How are you going to get the backing of USU for that? Surely that is a hemorrhage of funding. for students?
So what I mean by that is there's a lot of issues off campus with like issues with bar staff, spikings. Like people have questioned kind of the how salvos are thinking about the students, and I think if we set an example on campus, it would, in terms of profit, all the profit is going back into funding an event again. So it's not a case of someone sitting behind trying to make a lot of money from it. And if we set an example on campus, then hopefully that can improve off.
I'd like to move into sustainable practice now.
Go for it.
So sustainability is a massive part of your manifesto, I think. So we talk about bus travel. Now, there have been some major changes in bus travel already. You're nodding quite confidently. You're proud of them. What are you suggesting to change about bus travel that exists at the moment?
So there's two main things. So although I'm at Lister College, I did live in Alcuin in my first year. So I have experience of living on Campus West as well. And the worst thing about living on Campus West, well, maybe not the worst, but one of the bad things is if you're trying to go out of an evening, the bus starts at East. By the time it's got to West, it's full, it drives past you. You either have to walk into town or get an Uber, which isn't ideal. So I would propose they cut the service down from every 10 minutes to every 20 minutes.
You talk about lobbying for an extension of student tickets to all bus services in York, and I just want to know about the practicality of a claim like that within a manifesto. How do you believe that you are going to be able to extend student tickets to every bus service in York, not just the 66 and 67?
So it would be definitely a gradual thing. It wouldn't happen all at once. No. But there's already been talks about extending it to the number 6 bus, for instance, which goes to East Campus, goes to campus.
Brilliant.
So starting with that and then showing how that increases student usage. There are people who live in Tang Hall, down Badger Hill and stuff like that who would really benefit from cheaper bus tickets.
I'd like to move on to your final point while we have 3 minutes. We're going on to the championing students. Now, honestly, we look through the entire manifesto. We've had revitalising our campus, we've had sustainable practice, and this last bit is championing students, my apologies. And we're talking about USU, and you go on very specifically right at the end that you intend to develop a student leadership support fund, following for the recognition of students' effort more profoundly. But you also talk about the idea of award nights are a nice idea, but faced with the choice between a paid part-time job and a certificate, it's no wonder the numbers are falling. So first question, are you suggesting that the reason USU memberships are falling is because there are no paid positions? And reading through your final point from start to finish, champion students, are you suggesting that your solution is to introduce paid roles into USU?
Yeah. So
can I ask you straight away, where are you going to get the funding to fund students as USU members?
What do you mean, sorry, specifically about that?
So you mean you want to introduce, and as you nodded, you want to introduce paid roles within UC membership. Where's the money coming from?
So that would be a gradual thing, but I would lobby the university for the money.
Do you think the university has the money?
Well, I think the thing is they can't afford not to invest in this kind of thing because...
So they've got no choice?
Yes, because the state of... where the amount of time, for instance, that I give to my UC volunteering, if I didn't get a maximum loan, I wouldn't be able to afford to do that. I would have to get a part-time job. And so if USU and the university want their culture of university life community to be sustainable, they are going to have to invest in some paid positions, in more meaningful rewards, rather than just a certificate, because otherwise that would just go, and that would be a real shame.
Brilliant. Once again, the question is, where is the money coming from, though? You talk about rallying them. Do you believe that USU has enough funding to be able to paid promotions? Also, paid positions, what positions would you suggest should be paid?
So there's been suggestions that made by Pierrick that eventually he wants to move what is currently the part-time officer will become the representative under the merger, eventually move them to paid positions. And so that's what I'd start for. So not every position could ever become paid, but some people's jobs are very specific, and they put a lot of time into it, and I think they're taken advantage of in this sense.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Jen Andrews. Of course, you are running for Union Development Officer. You've been listening to Candidate Interview Night. My name's been Tolan Enderbury, and we are moving over to Studio Red, where another interview is going underway. Thank you, Jen, for coming on. Wasn't too hard, was it?
No, not too bad.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.